constant of proportionality. It is also known as the constant rate of change, which you'll also hear as CROC. It's also known as a multiplicative relationship. It is also known as unit rate and slope. Okay, so constant rate of change is a word they use in 7th grade. Multiplicative is 6th grade. The unit rate we've already learned this year, which is 6th grade. And slope is how you'll hear it in 8th grade. So we've talked about multiplicative relationships and how the equation is y equals kx. Constant of proportionality and constant rate of change is the same exact thing, just a different word. These are all synonyms, okay? So this arrow is pointing here at the k. That is what represents the constant rate of change and constant of proportionality. So the value of the ratio of two proportional quantities. So they have to be proportional, right? So it must go through the origin because it is a multiplicative relationship. It's represented by the equation. So k equals y over x, and this will make a lot more sense here in a little bit, where y represents your dependent variable and your x represents the independent variable, which is what we learned about yesterday. Okay, you use the equation y equals kx to find constant rate of change. So k equals y over x is pretty much, so if you're just looking for k, you just do y divided by x. Obviously, we put it in this format, y equals kx. Y'all already seen this before, okay? So, real fast, a car travels 220 miles in 4 hours. What is the constant rate of change that relates y, the total number of miles, to x, the number of hours? So, if a car travels 220 miles in 4 hours, we are just finding out how many miles it travels per hour, which is unit rate, right? So miles over hours, right? It goes 220 miles in 4 hours, and then we're trying to figure out how far it goes in 1 hour. So we divide by 4, divide by 4. 220, I'm going to do it up here, divided by 4. 4 goes into 22. 4 times 5, that's 20. We subtract, get a remainder of 2, bring down your 0, and 4 goes in 25 times, and there's nothing left. So this car travels 55 miles per hour. Your K is 55. Unit rate, we're finding out how many miles this car drives per hour. Okay, now what I mean with this y equals y over x, so when we find the constant rate of change or constant of proportionality, you just put the y over the x. 6 divided by 1. We have 12 divided by 2. We have 18 divided by 3. 24 divided by 4. And these all equal 6. So your k is 6. And when we write it as in our equation for multiplicative relationships, it's just y equals 6x. Y equals kx. We're just replacing the k with the 6. Same thing here. Y over x, 4 over 8, 5 over 10, 6 over 12, 7 over 14. Okay, your k is just 1/2, or you can write it as a decimal, 0.5. So again, when we write this using y equals kx, that's y equals 0.5x, or you can write y equals half of x.